Barbados, get up.
Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
It's Monday, November 11th. Good to have you with us. Morning, Barbados. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock this morning. Certainly hope you had a good weekend. Boy, did I. And thoroughly enjoyed the Remembrance Day service, interdenominational service and parade that came off yesterday at National Heroes Square. If you didn't get an opportunity to come out and watch it, you can go and see it online. But for those of you who came out and braved the weather, we had some drizzles, luckily, nothing too heavy. Kudos to you. So make sure you head out today. Still continue to wear your poppies. I'm not wearing mine today, but it is somewhere in the back. You know how it goes. Still continue to wear your poppies as we continue to honor and celebrate those who fought in the First and Second World Wars, and of course, their relatives who are still here with us. And just honor servicemen and women everywhere as well as we look toward Remembrance Day and all that goes along with it. It's November, so it's the month of our independence, and there's lots and lots happening. But this time around, we are honoring a Bajan lady, Bajan by descent, in a very interesting way. This year would mark the centenary year for Shirley Chisholm. So you've been hearing a lot more about her for the lighting ceremony. Just a matter of days ago, at the 1st of November, we had an opportunity to light up the Shirley Chisholm School as well. I think it would start a little further than that when the school was renamed. So you'd see that we truly have been on this path for a little while. So joining us this morning and first up to tell us all about a few of the initiatives that we will be embarking to continue to celebrate Shirley Chisholm, we have project coordinator for the Celebrating Shirley 100 Years Project, Erica Hinkson. Good morning to you, Erica. Wonderful to see you.
Hi, good morning, Tisha. It's always a pleasure to see you. So I first want to start off with getting a little background on why we're even honoring Shirley. So the government of Barbados actually has a mandate to celebrate and honor our own. And that has been ongoing since Barbados has become a republic. Persons who've made an indelible mark on Barbados. That's locally, regionally, and internationally. So there are some Bajans that are not as familiar with Shirley, and we want to take this time to really educate, inspire them, and get them to see what Shirley really has done for Barbados. Of course, her early life was here in Barbados, her having grown up in Vauxhall, and as you mentioned, the school that she attended actually was named after her. And that falls within the general work of the government in terms of having the committees like the Office of Reparations and Economic Enfranchisement, the Division of Culture, the National Cultural Foundation, the National Library Service here with us today, and the Archives, who are all celebrating this centenary year of Shirley's birthday.
All right, well, that's wonderful stuff. Before we move on, we want to bring Marva Savory Smith in, who is the librarian in the Reference and Heritage Department with the National Library Service as well. And I know you have a significant role to play with being able to share the information also. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Yes, the National Library Service has provided resources for research on Shirley Chisholm. It is through physical books and ebooks. The ebooks are via EBSCO. EBSCO provides information to libraries free of cost, and you can log on to it in your living room. So you don't have to come to the library to log on to it. To get on to EBSCO, the URL, ebscohost.com/login.asp, and the user ID is NLSPUBLICHQ, and the password is HQNLSB 2024.
You guys are going to have to share that on your social because everybody missed it. I'm sitting here and I absolutely did. But it's wonderful that we can have that resource to be able to go in and find out a little bit more about Shirley. For you, Erica, has it been a journey of discovery?
Yes, it has been. Well, you know, with me being so young, I have heard about Shirley Chisholm, but you know, she's not as much taught in schools to us. So working alongside the Division of Culture now, it was mind-blowing for me to all the facts that I learned about her. I did know she was the first black woman, congresswoman in the U.S., and then the first black woman to run for president of the U.S. So long before Kamala Harris. She really paved the way, and that was since 1972. But getting to know and learn so many other facts about her, and then I tuned in and watched the Netflix movie that just came out this year with Regina King and Terrence Howard, and I even had even more appreciation and wonder. It actually made me cry to see the struggle people had to go through to make the way for women in politics, and generally in terms of women's rights and black rights in general as well.
All right, that's beautiful stuff. Let's double back to these resources before we tell people how they can access the resources. You mentioned that, you know, there's a book resource on the EBSCO database that people can access from at home.
Yes.
So, you know, it means you don't have to come out to the library to be able to get the information with that online resource. But there are also books. You said there's also a book collection.
There's a book collection available. Some can be borrowed. Others are reference books, so they can't really be borrowed. Among them is her On the Boss.
And
On Bought and Boss, sorry.
Yes.
Which chronicles her ascension from a daughter of working class immigrants to her becoming congresswoman. I think that is the one that people most talk about. That one is available, among others.
Good stuff. What are some of the things that we'll be undertaking as we look toward this centenary year?
Well, also supporting the National Library. The National Library came out with not only the database, but there's a huge competition that's being run right now that the Division of Culture partnered with the library on. And that is an arts competition that is for the general public of Barbados. Any Bajan can enter. So what we want is for you guys to submit your art forms in dance, music, poetry, essays, fine arts. Get really creative. Whatever you come up with to support the theme of celebrating the contribution of Shirley Chisholm to the political and social development of the United States of America. And you have until the 17th of November, so that is Sunday, November 17th. We actually extended the deadline because people were so excited about it, and we were getting quite a few entries, and giving that chance for persons to get in there to win that first trip prize to New York City, where you'll actually get to see all the things about Shirley, the monuments, the museums, and enjoy a full tour, along with some other exciting prizes, vacations and laptop and all that. You have to go and check out our socials and get those for sure. And it's easy to submit. That is to Honor Chisholm at nls.gov.bb. And we also have a number that I can share, 535-2900 or 535-2911, if you would like some more information about that competition.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it sounds good. You said it's open to all Barbadians in any art form.
Yes, any art form.
Just think about how you can honor the memory of Shirley Chisholm, and you get in there with some fantastic prizes. I absolutely love that, that you're reaching out in this way to kind of maybe bring a different and more discerning audience on board, particularly younger people, because then you open it for them to be able to interpret how they see best, but it will call for some research for them to be able to find out more about her. In terms of, I mean, when I think about the things that she was able to do against all odds, and we hear that term a lot, it truly can be an inspiration in terms of young people looking on. She had introduced new major legislation to assist people in her community and beyond to be able to make that happen. Yes. How else are we moving forward with trying to get more about Shirley out there with the initiatives that are being done?
Yes. So there were actually initiatives that span from July this year straight down to December. And July is when we launched the social media competition. the social media information. All right, so you could check out the social media pages, celebrating Shirley 100 and at Culture Barbados. So on the socials, we've been interviewing persons like her family members. You have some great information there from Minister Chantal Monroe Knight, Minister John King, Division of Culture Director Rodney Grant. All of this information and features being shared, seeing the work of the parish independence committees and that type of information. So we launched hard with that social media competition and social media information. And then we moved into aspects like the lighting ceremony, as you've mentioned, the arts competition. There are some pop-ups and some various initiatives that you have to look out for, various events as well. And we'll get into that. And we're going to share as we go along throughout, right down to December.
All right, wonderful stuff for you, Miss Savory Smith. You know, in terms of coming into the library, because unfortunately, I know when I went to school, there wasn't Google search for certain. So we had to come in, we had to go into the reference department and stuff like that. So for those people who might be looking to bring in maybe their little ones or they themselves come in to do a little bit of research, kind of talk us through it a little bit. There may still be some people who are not too sure, who've never set foot in the library.
Well, to join the library, you just need your Barbados ID. Even if you're a child, you need to bring your Barbados ID and you fill out a form, and it basically that's it. To use the reference department, you come upstairs and you speak to one of your librarians and you tell them what your topic you're looking for, or maybe a particular book, and they will help you. It's simple and friendly.
Just as I remember it, Erica.
Yes.
I don't know if you were in those times.
I was. I did get to the old library and the new one as well. And I also want to mention another major initiative that the Barbados government has undertaken, and that is partnering with New York in terms of a sister agreement. And that was a couple weeks ago as well. That's very important because, like, Minister Corey Lane, you know, his focus is at-risk youth. You know, that was a mandate for Shirley, as you mentioned, 50 pieces of legislation that she put in place to help the poor, minorities, blacks, Latinos, women. And in partnering with New York, we're getting their best practices. We're doing various developmental initiatives, programs to help women in education and youth in education. Everything that Shirley fought for when she was running for president, all of those actually are also being implemented, and the people of Barbados are being brought in for feedback as well on these various initiatives as well.
That's wonderful. I know in the U.S., for example, the Black Caucus, which, you know, it's an entire group of Congress people across the U.S., they're going to be doing some major stuff for Shirley as well in honor of this centenary year.
Exactly. So we are supporting and backing up their efforts. So they have some major things going on there. And then within Barbados as well, we have done that partnership with New York.
All right. So Ms. Savory Smith, what would you say to anybody looking on about why they should be a part of this particular competition that is teaming up with the ministry and the library service to honor and continue to share more about the late Shirley Chisholm?
Well, the prizes are great, but in terms of learning, educating, becoming familiar with your culture, I would encourage everybody to do it, to come forward, see what it's about, and become part of it.
All right, so just to remind you, it's open to all Barbadians in any art form, so dance, music, poetry, essay, fine arts, and the like. Erica, you cannot enter.
No, I would love to enter. I want that first place prize for sure, but I can't enter.
So they've moved up the deadline to Sunday, November 17th. Don't wait till the last minute. The theme is celebrating the contribution of Shirley Chisholm to the political and social development of the United States of America. First prize includes an all-inclusive trip to New York City with tours and activities highlighting Shirley Chisholm's life. The submission is by JPEG, MP4, PDF format, and it should be emailed to honorchisholm@nls.gov.bb. Submissions should include your name, your email address, your contact information, and all submissions become the property of the National Library Service. You can call for more information to find out. Erica told you 535-2900 or 535-2911 to find out more information. what would you say is, one of the most interesting things that you discovered about Shirley Chisholm?
Wow, I would say I had no idea about her being put into the Women's Hall of Fame. That is a huge deal in the U.S. And then President Obama posthumously honoring her, and how huge a deal she really was. A stamp in her honor. And I didn't know the Bajan connection was this heavy. I knew she grew up here, but I didn't know that she credited Barbados so heavily to her success, her morals, her value, everything that was instilled in her in terms of education here in Barbados, to why she became this success and trailblazer worldwide. I think that was very eye-opening for me.
That was it for me too.
Yeah.
I first discovered Shirley Chisholm back in 2014. And 2014 would have been our 40th, 50th anniversary, 40th, something.
Somewhere in there.
Something like that. But we were doing a mini documentary series, and everybody we talked to in New York City talked about Shirley Chisholm. And I was like, well, who is this lady?
Exactly.
I've never heard of her before. And then I saw her saying that she credited her early years, her parents sent her back here to Barbados to live with their parents.
Right.
That's what a lot of people did back in the day.
Yeah.
And she credited, as you said, those early years of schooling here in Barbados for everything she was able to accomplish, and for her indelible spirit.
Exactly. If you watch that movie, you would actually hear her talk about when she's talking to her political advisors, don't be a hard moat. And all these Bajan sayings, the dog for lick. Like she has so many Caribbean sayings that she's a Caribbean woman, but especially Bajan sayings. She shoots everything. And I thought that was just so relatable, that she never lost her Bajan spirit.
It's true. She definitely had an audacity that we see a lot of here in the Caribbean. So thank you, ladies, for coming in. Marva Savory Lashley with a librarian in the Reference and Heritage Department at the National Library Service. All you need is your ID card to come on in and be a member. An ID card makes you a member. Yes. That's all. Bring in especially the little ones and get them signed up so that they can experience the library as well. And this time around, we're encouraging you to team up and be a part of this competition. You have up until November 17th. Check out the socials. Erica, give them to us one more time so that people know where they can head for more information.
Okay, so at Celebrating Shirley 100 on Instagram, and also at Culture Barbados on Instagram. Very easy.
All right, good stuff. So make sure you check them out. All right, time for our first break here on Morning Barbados on this Monday. But we'll be right back with a lot more, so stick around.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome back. The Barbados Youth Development Council has been around for quite some time, and I know that they've been celebrating major milestones quite recently. So we're more than happy to have Brianna Ford join us this morning. She's an exec assistant with the BYDC. Great to have you here.
Thank you so much. Good morning as well.
Good morning. Tell me about initially how you got involved with the BYDC and all the work you do.
Well, initially I heard about the BYDC through the National Youth Leadership Program that I joined. And I've also heard about the BYDC through the Youth Parliament as well. I've seen so many many things around Barbados about the BYDC, so I was initially intrigued with it as well until I met the president of the Barbados Youth Development Council, and I asked him a little bit more about it, and he told me what they were all about. And from then on, when I heard about the youth and them advocating for the development of the youth, I was interested from the get-go.
For you, Brianna, though, what initially piqued your interest about youth organizations? Because there's so many young people who kind of sit on the sidelines. You mentioned two other organizations there.
Yes,
you
please.
said the leadership,
the National Youth Leadership Program.
National Youth Leadership Program and the National Youth Parliament. That wasn't lost on me. So what pushed you to want to be a part of these organizations?
Well, what initially pushed me was my genuine desire to, want to help and want to be out there in the public. I'm a shy person myself, but anything that regards the young persons like myself and being out there to advocate for the youth, especially in this time, I would immediately jump on that opportunity.
What are some of the immediate areas that you think need advocating for, that the BYDC is kind of taking on as an organization?
Well, the BYDC has taken on so much. In particular, I have seen that they have done so much for the Barbadians in general, such as the partnership with the embassy that they've had with Cuba for grants that they've had, and so much more. And other member organizations they have given grants to help, especially in our economy and in our climate as well. But in particular for me, our marginalized groups that we have today, especially for the youth, those low-income families and those children that aren't able to, be better off for themselves.
Do you think that we're getting these children, and I don't like the labels, but for the purpose of our interview and speaking, I'll roll with it. I think that's something that we need to work on, referring to young people or groups as marginalized or from different communities, where you call them vulnerable and stuff like that. I think that's a big mistake, referring to young people as delinquent. Even the word juvenile, because for me juvenile conjures up negativity.
Exactly.
In my mind, it sounds, if somebody said this is a juvenile, immediately I think crime.
Exactly.
You know,
It's
so there are certain
labeling.
terms
Yeah.
that I don't think should go along with when we're talking about
I agree.
young people in particular.
Yes.
But let's kind of itemize some of these programs that you've been able to do under the BYDC banner that you think are helping youth who are in different classifications, so to speak.
Well, some affiliate members of the BYDC include Let's Unpack It and other members as well of other member organizations.
What
as
does
well.
Let's Unpack It do?
Well, Let's Unpack It is one of the several affiliated members. I'm not able to speak at length on that organization, but they, as an affiliated member, has added to the volume of the BYDC and has made it extremely helpful as well.
Okay. Yeah?
Yes,
So there's
please.
Let's Unpack It in terms of working with them.
Yes, please.
Not necessarily only affiliate organizations, but you mentioned a few initiatives. So let's unpack that.
Yes, of course.
a little bit and talk about the work specifically of the BYDC then.
Yes. Well, some of the stuff that BYDC has gone through and has done in Barbados as well is courtesy calls upon the Ministry of Labour, Social Security and the third sector. And I have mentioned before the National Youth Leadership Program that I was also in as well. That was a major success that we've had where we have allowed several of the youth from the young ages about 12 all the way up to 34, where several persons were able to come into this program and were taught by professionals on how to lead. And this is a part of what the BYDC stands for, wanting and advocating for the development of the youth. So pushing leaders into our future.
That's interesting stuff. How do you feel like they kind of try to amplify youth voices with these initiatives?
Well, with these initiatives, the perfect example that I can give is one that we've recently had a youth panel discussion where we've had a lot of influencers and some influenced persons as well come to speak, and this helps to let our young people lend their voice to Barbados and let them know that we are educated, we are aware of what is going on, and that alone, letting other persons know that we are aware, we know what we're talking about, can really help us and push us out there to just be better, and for those that are watching to know that I can do this and I'm able to do this and I want to.
Brianna, do you feel like you guys are reaching these young people on the fringes?
Well, that's what I'm here for. I genuinely want the young persons to know that there is an organization out there fighting for them. There is an organization out there that wants them to succeed, and that is what I believe is happening. Yes, please.
Is it difficult to become a member of the BYDC?
No, it is not. It is simply, just looking up the BYDC because it is the oldest, the fourth oldest in the entire world and the oldest locally as well. So it is not difficult at all.
Tell me how we get through that process for some people who might be looking on and saying, this might be a great initiative. How do we become members? Well, not we, I'm excluded, but people within the age range.
Well, you were able to speak with the president of the BYDC. You can just easily do a Google search, BYDC, Barbados Youth Development Council, and get any contact information, or you can just come directly to the office at Skymont Haggett Hall and the ministry and just ask a question, and we can have an interview with you, or we can just speak with you and see what you're able to offer, and it's just as simple as that.
On a personal level, is there any project so far that you've been a part of or the BYDC has undertaken that has kind of touched you or pulled you in on a personal level?
Well, yes, of course. We've just celebrated our 55th anniversary recently in August, and we've had several initiatives and several plans in that area where we were able to go to different not schools, but primarily the camps, the government camps that we were able to have, and that alone was extremely lovely because we were able to see what the camps offered. We were able to see the talents of the children as well, and that touched me because I love children.
All right, that's beautiful stuff. You mentioned that you collaborate with a number of organizations to kind of strengthen youth engagement.
Yes.
Let's look forward now in terms of what you would like to see. 55 years as an organization advocating for youth and youth issues and for the development of young people is a lot of time. So
Yes.
kudos to the entire team, ably led by Caleb Brathwaite.
Yes,
I've been
please.
able to meet Caleb, and I truly love his spirit and all he does. But to ensure that the BYDC is around for another 55 years, what do you think you need to do at this time to kind of strengthen the core of what you do?
Well, even as what we're doing right now, building our bonds with other organizations, international organizations at that, with the UNDP and even the UN, building that bond and strengthening that bond is what we need to get our foot in the door to stay primarily. The plans that we've had or we're setting forward is one that strengthens and holds the youth in the center. One that we want the youth to know that we have plans for you. We have plans where we've seen all over the world several persons are able to voice their opinions and are they able to express themselves, and this is what we want for our youth of Barbados today. We have several plans put in place. So I believe that the plans that we have, and I believe that the diplomatic relations that we're also forming with other organizations as well will really keep us 55, even 100 years from now.
That's excellent. I know that 2024 was declared the year of the youth.
Yes, please.
What did that mean to the council, and how did you move to be able to not only celebrate it, but ensure that you kind of increase all that came along with being, present in a year where young people were being celebrated?
Yes, well, yes, that was an amazing thing for us as well. The council, again, has done so much where they have reached out to so many of the youth, and they have marketed the different programs where we are reaching out to these children and letting them know that, hey, this is available. These are different programs available. As I've mentioned, the National Youth Leadership Program and all these other things that we believe that the youth need and that they would love to be a part of. So just catering primarily to the needs of the youth is what the BYDC has done, especially for that time.
All right, that's excellent. And I want a final appeal from you, Brianna, as to why other young people should get involved with the BYDC from your perspective.
Well, I love that question. From my perspective, simply if you just have a desire to want to help, just having a desire to connect with your friends and family and those that are younger, you can join. You can simply be a voice for others that are not able to speak and just lend a helping hand. You may know other persons that are able to help as well, and just simply being you and having the connections that you have can help from a minute to a large scale. So yes, that is what my perspective is.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, every mountain is made up of what? The tiniest grain of sand.
Precisely.
So even what people might think is something really small,
exactly,
that they can't necessarily contribute with, it will contribute to the whole. I want to thank you for coming in and sharing, and I think this is the start of us hearing a lot more about the BYDC, the work that you're doing, and what you're working toward, particularly as we look toward the end of 2024, the year that was dedicated to youth. We saw a lot more youth on stages. I know that you've been out there and advocating and linking with those organizations that you need to be able to help you make it as well. So congrats to you and the team.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Time for another break, but we'll be right back after this, so stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it. Bajan to the bone. Weekdays, right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 18 minutes to go before 7 o'clock. Good morning. Good to have you. Thank you so much for welcoming us into your homes, whatever you're doing this morning. I certainly hope that, you're enjoying it. Maybe a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. Most Bajans, they just take a little tea. They don't do big breakfasts. But if you're on vacation, my goodness. Hey, someone who I think about every time I think about going on vacation, Shane Seeley.
What is that?
Good morning,
Good
Mr.
morning.
Seeley, communications specialist with the Queen Elizabeth Hospital.
Good morning.
You know, I have to give you steak. It's a must.
I appreciate it. I love it.
Of course, people would know, former colleague, of course, former host of Morning Barbados. Are you ever a former host, though? I still think that you still have to be labeled as host. He's here so often. I think he's not a former host, still a host, but it's wonderful to see you and have you here this morning, Shane.
Appreciate
to talk
it all
about
the
the QEH and the 60th anniversary committee and how you're prepping for things. So welcome.
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
All right. Also here with us is Sophia Williams, and she's a member of the 60th anniversary committee, and Shane got her to wake up bright and early and come on down this morning to share with us as well. I appreciate that, Sophia.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, on Sophia's day today, she is doing a whole lot, and maybe we'll get an opportunity to mention that. But I know that you have lots of anniversary events that are coming up that we really want to share about, Shane.
Yes, the committee has been definitely working hard to get this week and to prepare for this week, because this is when the QEH on the 14th becomes 60 years young. 60 years young, and we're looking forward to another maybe 60 years, who knows. But it's all about making sure that we treat our staff this week, and we also treat our patients. We've been doing it with our patients during the year as we continued our public outreach. This week, we come home and we have a number of activities starting this morning. Of course, not only here at Morning Barbados, but right there at Martindale's Road in our chapel. We're going to start with a word of prayer and thanksgiving at our church service, where a number of high-level health officials and, of course, the top brass at the QEH will share a moment with all of the staff, those staff who can come. Some of the staff still have to work, have critical care to do. But those who can come and share that moment to really give thanks for reaching this milestone. 60 years, no mean feat. It's our Diamond Jubilee. And we're really, as our philanthropy officer and another member of the committee, Gay Howell, always says, we're going big. Go big or go home. So the staff will be getting a lot of goodies and treats as we go down the week. I know Sophia has been working hard on a number of not only the flyers, but just the events themselves, on organizing and setting up. And another big one will be the open day on Wednesday. But I'll give Ms. Williams a chance to really speak about those activities as we go down the weekend, how we're really treating our staff.
All right, that's good stuff. It must mean a great deal to be a part of a committee like this one, working with an organization, first of all, that means so much to Barbadians, even as we reflect on the 60 years of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital being around. What is the process? What has the process like in terms of being able to develop this cadre of events that will be marking the 60th anniversary, at least at this time?
It's been an exciting process. It's been an exciting journey because it is our Diamond Jubilee year. It is our 60th year, and we have had great joy in planning the events to treat our staff, show appreciation to them for their hard work and dedication to our service to our patients, not only patients, but also their relatives. And we thought that, given that it's a milestone, as Shane said, our colleague usually says go big or go home. So it's a big to-do, and we have looked forward to this moment this week. It's a very big week for us, and we're certainly eager to share and to watch everybody just participate, come together as one family and celebrate our milestone achievement.
Excellent. Going to those events that Shane was prompting you to talk about.
Right. So this morning we start with our service in our chapel at 10 a.m. And after that, this evening, weather permitting, we will have our champion match, which is a road tennis match, which Shane has participated in.
Why is he laughing already? Listen, why is he over here giggling while you're talking about this champion match? Somehow he feels like he's going to be the champion?
He believes that, but his knees will say otherwise. He wants me to share with you that he participated in a match and he won the match. So congratulations,
Thank
Shane.
you. Against all odds.
He started giggling?
Because I was kind of hiding from it, and then I decided to play, and some old things came together, and I got through that first round. But we really got to thank engineering, because that was one of the fringe events. There have been a number of fringe events as we celebrate the 60th anniversary. The engineering versus the rest road tennis tournament was one of those. The rain put a damper on things on Friday because we wanted to get through the semifinals and the finals. So we'll do that this evening in the week of activities. So I'm pretty sure you will hear the result, Tisha.
Oh, I can tell you. I knew he had to be involved somehow. As soon as you started talking about it, he's in the background, being distracting, giggling. Yeah, so tell me a little bit more. But before we go, and I have to play this little song here. So for you.
What's this here, though?
Yeah, you know how it goes.
So that could motivate me to do big things today. All right.
He's a champion today.
Play that.
Okay, I'm done.
Mr. Powell and the West Indies team. We need to remind them that, that's what we are.
All right.
They need to do a little better.
You are through interrupting. What else is happening, Sophia?
So on Tuesday, we have our scavenger hunt, and that promises to be fun. It's super good.
Is that going to be on the premises, or are you going to go outside of the QEH to do that?
Who knows?
Ooh.
Who knows?
And that is for staff as well?
Yes, it is. And there are going to be lots of prizes and surprises. We're going to be doing pop-ups as well. So get your thinking caps on. You're going to do some trivias, and the prizes are going to be fabulous. We promise to have a good time, clean fun, and just take a load off. For those who can participate, we will have those hunts running throughout the course of the week. So we start tomorrow morning, bright and early. And then we move into Wednesday, which will be our open day. And we are inviting vendors. Today closes the registration if you want to be an exhibitor. So you're still welcome to join us. It's not too late. The more, the merrier. And we extend certainly invitations to our general public, staff, members, the patients, the relatives as well. And you can just come out and view what our exhibitors have to offer, those internally and externally. And that starts tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Okay, I'm also told that on that day, Shane will get to come out with his commemorate tie.
Rose ice.
Yes, because it's also a big back-to-school celebration. So there's a wide representation of not only Combamerians, but other schools at the hospital. So we'll get a chance to, put on those ties, those epaulettes, or whatever school attire that you decide to wear on that day, and really showcase, represent your school. But it's all about giving those internal vendors, when I say internal vendors, those participants who work at the hospital, a chance to display what their department is all about. Last year, during the 59th anniversary, we had a number of schools passing through. So it acts as a real education forum as well. It gives some of these school-age children a chance to see, what they may want to be in the future, what their future could hold if they decide to go into healthcare, whether it be in CSSD, which was a highlight during Quality Week.
What's CSSD?
Oh, that is the, give me it, Sophie.
Central
Sterilization
Supplies Department.
Yes, so they focus on making sure that all of the equipment is at a level of really sterility, making sure that the equipment can be used in surgery and in other parts of the hospital. But there's so many departments right across the hospital that will be on display. So it's also to give a chance to our partners, our vendors from the outside now, to a chance to come and showcase what they have to offer as well. And of course, special discounts for staff as we're celebrating 60, maybe not 60%, we would love that, but definitely some great offers for staff. It's all about a big give back during the year, give back to staff, give back to patients, and really give back to the nation in terms of making sure that they understand what the QEH is all about as we go into the 60th year. You would have heard about a number of advancements that would have come over the last few months, and a number of advancements to come under the 2025 to 2028 strategy, which has been the brainchild of our new CEO, our Chief Executive Officer, Neil Clark. So all of this is really rolling into one nice package that we can say to Barbadians, this is our hospital, this is your hospital at 60, and this is the direction we're going in.
All right, that's beautiful stuff. We're only at Wednesday. Can you imagine that? So many things that we've talked about, and we're only at Wednesday. So what's coming up on Thursday?
So on Thursday is our big day. That's where we turn 60 years young. We then officially launch into our Diamond Jubilee year, and we start that off with a cake cutting ceremony that is scheduled for 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. and we invite not only our colleagues but also friends of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital and celebrating this milestone achievement. And we ask that you feel free to come, join us, interact with us. Let's get to know you better. It gives you the opportunity to get to know us better as well, and learn more about why we're celebrating, how we're celebrating, and as Shane said, the long-term projections of where we're going to be taking our strategy and the Queen Elizabeth Hospital.
That's beautiful stuff. And you end out the week with a soiree.
Sunset soiree. There will be 2 roasted pigs there.
Not two roasted pigs associated with the name soiree.
I had a different name for it, but the committee has gone in a different direction, and we love it. But again, a chance for us to come together as a family at QEH and spend some time with each other on Friday evening. Just all of those good elements of the week. We have some food, we have some light refreshments, and just enjoy each other as Team QEH, and let's see where we're going over the next few months.
That's really important, and we would know here at CBC as well. You're an entire team, but everybody's kind of a shift worker, so you don't necessarily get together a lot of the time. So this means a great deal. I know for you, Sophia, you work in a number of areas, so let's hear a little bit about that. Because when I hear you talking about all of these different departments, often we look on and we only see the frontline people. We only see the people who engage, who interact with the public, the doctors, the nurses who are in healthcare. But there's so many other people behind the scenes helping that wheel to continue turning. So let's talk a bit about your work.
Okay, so I work in the patient relations department, which is made up of our receptionist team, and then we have our patient relations representatives in our accident and emergency room. And we also have our patient advice and liaison service team, who you would be familiar with the number by now, 536-4800. Those reps are responsible for assisting patients, relatives and friends of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in navigating their way around, our processes or services. If you want to check on a relative, they will provide the status updates. If you have any challenges, any questions, concerns, queries, that is your point of contact. And with the PRRs in our accident emergency room, again, they are there to provide, comfort and that empathy that you would need in your times of distress, because there's so many unknowns, so much uncertainty, and they're there to do that hand-holding and assist, patients and relatives as well in navigating their way through the A&E room. And our receptionists are there to also assist in navigating the patient flows and, relatives who may come in to utilize whatever services, making appointments, directing them in the right directions to be able to access those services and give guidance. And sometimes there are persons who may not necessarily know how to make contact with other external partners, and they provide that information. So there's a lot of things happening, and we always try to look at our service improvement and see how much better we can serve our public, our patients, and family members of those patients, because we understand the importance of being that shoulder to lean on in times of uncertainty.
Oh, that's wonderful stuff. And, so kudos to everybody in all of those departments that you just mentioned. And that's very, very important. A lot of the times when you want a little information, you just want to be able to reach somebody. And that can mean that you might meet up with people who are extremely irate because they're going through challenges, or people who don't know what to do.
Indeed.
So I know that that's a lot of work to be done. But, to have the QEH celebrating a 60th anniversary, this very week as you launch into, as you mentioned several times, your Diamond Jubilee, it says a lot that you are focusing so heavily on the many publics whom you serve, not only the external publics, but the internal publics, Shane, and being able to share, communicate with them, and enjoy what you've done in this way will go a long way, I believe.
Indeed. And we are also giving our patients a chance to communicate on our behalf. And let me explain what I mean. Testimonials are so important for us and the work that we do at the QEH. You hear some of the bad rap that we get, and we accept that. The CEO always says, if we don't know about some of these complaints and some of the concerns that people have, we don't have a chance to understand how we can improve the service. And I really want to salute our nurses, the nursing fraternity, all employees, but especially the nurses, because I know that they go through the real rigors, dealing with the patients on a daily basis at their lowest. And recently, we had the opportunity to speak to a former patient. Her outcome was not positive, but she has turned what that outcome was into a real positive for the QEH, because she's decided that on the anniversary of her son's passing, she will donate to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital every single year because of the treatment she received from our nurses. The treatment, and not only treatment, but support, Tisha. And that's what the QEH is all about, being a bit more compassionate and caring for patients. We know that everyone will not always have a good day, but more so, we really want that to be the mantra of the QEH at 60 and going forward. And we do have an example of that, as I said, from our friend, now a QEH friend, Krista Solian.
All right, so we're going to roll the video now. Share just a little bit of that with you.
My name is Krista Solin, and this is my husband, Arlie Delaney. And today we are here to present the nurses of NICU with some self-care packages and also some packages for the babies as well, in honor of our son, Kai Delaney, who passed away last year. Kai had a heart condition, and he was cared for by the NICU nurses, and we were allowed access to him. And while we were there, the nurses supported us, and we saw how much they cared for our son. And so every year for his birthday, we gift the NICU nurses some packages in his memory. And it's not only from us, but it's from our friends. We have some friends who have some small businesses, like the Banana bread queen, and she's actually baked for all the nurses, and then a lot of our friends have come together to give us baby items, diapers, that type of thing. So it's really a gift from us and from our family and friends. We were supported by Dr. Birchwood, who had really been instrumental in helping us through the process. And then she had allowed us access to our son because we knew he was going to pass away. And while we were there, one of the things we noticed, one baby cries, all baby cry. Wow. And all the nurses are constantly on their feet. We noticed a time we were there, we weren't eating, but they also weren't eating as well. We noticed they were drinking like lots of tea, snacking a lot. I am a psychologist by profession, and so I, of course, even in there, I was talking a little bit about self-care. And one of the things that, you know, really imprinted on us was just the way they cared for the babies, not only our son, but we watched them with other babies as well. And, you know, it was really love and sacrifice. They sang, they talked to them. And then even with us, just kind of talking us through, because we knew he was going to pass, and just them really encouraging us. So as we were there, we didn't sleep. We were allowed to stay for a long time. And every time we sat by him, there was a nurse supporting us. And so this is in honor of him.
That truly says a great deal for her to be able to share her story and to continue to give based on the level of treatment that she received and how the staff were able to engage with her.
Yeah, and that's why our nurses, we must recognize the work that they do in caring for our patients, going above and beyond the call of duty. She said, you know, that she saw them snacking, so she made sure that she brought some supplies for them that they can receive, not only to take home, but to have on the wards, because at the end of the day, some of these nurses, in individual times, they may not get breaks. They may not have their usual traditional 1 hour lunch because they are caring for our patients. So we really salute Krista for the contribution. Philanthropy has been really good to us. Coming out of the 59th, going into this 60th year. Again, the philanthropy officer has been working tirelessly to get more and more donations for the hospital. The equipment is expensive, but we also have that package, that financial package coming our way, that we'll be getting a lot of new equipment to really spread across the facility so that we can raise the bar as far as treatment is concerned to all patients, so we can share a lot more positive stories, you know, getting people back on their feet. And you'll be hearing more testimonials as we journey through the 60th year about those who came through the hospital and were able to get back on their feet, back into their normal way of living. And this is what we really want to share with the public as we turn 60, QEH at 60.
All right, beautiful stuff. Now for you, Sophia, you mentioned you work in patient relations, and you gave us, you know, the entire rundown about the people who are working in that department. But you're also reaching out, reaching across, and assisting in other areas, which is why you're here, because you're also working in communication. So it must mean a great deal to you that you're able to kind of expand your depth of knowledge and share in this in this organization.
That's right. It's been a good experience, a good learning experience, and we continue to raise the bar, you know, in terms of our service improvement to our constituents and the patients alike. So the role that I play is a supporting role in communications to Shane, and it is always a joy to be able to get that communication, or not just that communication, but the correct communication out to our patients or our colleagues. You know, if you don't communicate, you leave room for assumptions, and we all know how that will end. So however I can contribute, you know, to improving the experience, because for us, it's about the patient experience, and not only the patient experience, but also the employee's experience. In our CX training, you know, you would have always heard and learned that, you know, you treat your employees the way you would have them to treat, in our case, would be our patients. So it's always a joy. It's always something new to learn in communications, even in patient relations, as you interact with, you know, the relatives and friends. You always find a way to be encouraged to share more and to serve more from a point of empathy. Because when persons come to us, there's uncertainty. We don't know what they've been through is. And the idea is not to take it personal, but maintain our professionalism as we execute, our tasks, our duties and responsibilities to them, and make sure that their experience is as comfortable of an experience as we possibly can. We know that the outcomes are not necessarily always favorable, but certainly the idea is to make that moment of misery become a moment of truth, and then see how best we can turn it into a moment of magic for our patients, relatives, and friends.
All right, good stuff. I want to thank you both for coming in and sharing. Shane, of course, every Monday you teamed up with the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, which is no surprise to me because, he just loves the place. He couldn't help come back. And you're doing the Pulse Radio show, which is being very well received by the general public.
Yeah.
This week will be no different.
Yeah, we want the calls to keep rolling in so that we can answer the questions. I would say the public loves Dr. the Most Honorable Corey Ford, who will be our guest again this week. So yes, we'll come straight from the church service, get here pretty quickly, and be sharing a bit more about clinical and diagnostic services and the way that department, that directorate really, is being enhanced so that we can speed up the delivery of service in accident and emergency and right across the hospital. He has a big mandate in terms of the laboratory and other clinical services which are offered at the hospital. So another interesting conversation. Of course, people know those numbers you can call, 434-1007 and 434-1070. Don't smile at me, Tisha. Yes, I know them by heart. And you call and we will share with you, you share with us, and we answer your questions. It's all about making sure that, yes, you have questions, but we have answers, and then we can direct people, in the event that we don't have the immediate answer there for them, to the patient advice and liaison service, 536-4800.
That's beautiful stuff. Now, we're always really impressed with all this stuff that is going on and happening, but we're even more impressed when people are able to get Shane to go to church. So don't forget, there's actually a church service coming up. That is this morning, 10 o'clock. So make sure you get out. Shane, get all the church you can. All right?
Appreciate it. Thank you, Tisha.
Yes, for the Diamond Jubilee. It's for colleagues to come on out, colleagues for the QEH. 60th anniversary. We say in Bajan parlance, 60 years in 60 days.
You're right.
It has taken quite a lot to get here. And thanks from the public. A lot of times we hear a lot of the negativity. We hear sometimes the vocal few. And for those people who are appreciative of the service, they don't necessarily shout it from the mountaintops as some others would. But we appreciate all that has to go into keeping this organization running as it can. As is the case with everything, we can always improve, do better, need more resources, etc., etc. But kudos to you in this 60th year, 60 years of serving Barbadians. So let's run through this week of events again. The church service, 10 o'clock this morning. Tomorrow, the scavenger hunt. That's also at 10. And then there's a decorating competition that will be judging from 11 o'clock. Back to school. They're going to embody what's happening with their various alumnus or school organizations there. So it should be interesting to see. It's also an open day from 9 a.m. Thursday is a cake cutting ceremony from 9 a.m. and a pop-up trivia mania from 10 for the staff. And then, of course, Friday, they call it a sunset soiree, even though it starts at 4:30 and it involves 2 pigs. I don't know. We will see.
At least.
At least 2 pigs.
At least.
Yeah, it should be an interesting time for all. So again, thank you so much, Sophia Williams. Of course, is a member of the 60th anniversary committee. I know that could call for a lot of time as you kind of work through the thoughts and ideas and determine what you're going to go with. So congrats to you and the entire committee. And thanks as always for sharing with us, Shane. For bringing such joy to, this profession of yours and what you do. I think that is something that is seen in the way that you present what you're talking about every time, whether it's something that is challenging, or it is a little fun and you trying to give people the impression that you could play table tennis?
I road tennis. I actually can play table. Could have, I should say. That's the past. Got a shout out COO this morning as well, Dr. Greenwich. She's not on the show this weekend for the next few weeks, but she'll be back very, very soon.
All right, so thank you both for coming in and sharing with us. Do have a fantastic week, and happy 60th anniversary to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, well, we have a little bit of news coming our way. And of course, we still have some parish ambassadors to meet. We are taking a trek up to St. Philip. We're also going to be welcoming the ambassadors from Christchurch. That's all to come.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
13 in the land. I just heard some showers outside, showers of blessing. So make sure that you plan accordingly. Bring out your rain mitt, your umbrella, your raincoats, whatever you need to stay dry. Make sure you bring them out. And I'd like to urge you motorists as you drive along, there's still pedestrians using the streets around Barbados, so you don't want to wet anybody up as you pass by. So just be mindful about that as well, particularly because over the last few weeks and months, we really have been seeing a lot of water kind of catching, which is why we've been getting all those flood watches and so on. So make sure that you look out as you move by. It's time for us now, drum roll please, to meet the crew from Christchurch. Good morning, Christchurch.
Good morning.
All right, so first of all, Shaquille Seeley and Zanae Nichols are the parish ambassadors.
Yes.
Please. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And they are ably attended to by Mr. Raphael Marshall.
Yes.
Good morning to you, Raphael. I'll start with you. Let's talk about the work of the committee and how you've been able to keep things afloat from year to year as you move from different ambassadors. You guys are the steady piece of equipment in the middle of this machinery. So, what are some of the things that you've been doing to keep the St. Christchurch Parish Independence Committee rolling along?
Right. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Well, our committee, they meet regularly to plan different events throughout the year. We recently came off of our parish month in October, where we had some church services. We had a roast fish line. We had a movie night and cricket match. So they continue to plan these events. They make sure that we are up to speed with what is required of us. Being that liaison between the Secretariat and us. So we try to make sure that our ambassadors, they come in early, if that's possible, or if not, well, we try our best to keep them up to speed.
So you guys are definitely doing a lot of work. When I heard about church services and all of this means that you are definitely getting out there into the communities. For you, Zane, it must mean a great deal to be able to represent your parish in this way. So how did you become a parish ambassador?
So I originally heard about the program from a family friend. She was the ambassador in 2019, and I went to watch her at the show. And when I saw her on the stage, I was like, oh, this looks so fun. This looks like an amazing thing to do. And I've also always been a person who likes to do community service. So that's how I got into it, yeah.
All right, what about you, Shaquille?
Funny thing about it, last year our parish didn't have any representative. So I was asked if I could, fill in for the show. And I was skeptical at first, but then I gave it some thought, and then I filled in as the representative for Christchurch last year for the show. And then this year, though, I'm the official parish ambassador.
All right, that's excellent stuff. You saw a need and you stepped forward, and that is very, very commendable. Now for, the Spirit of the Nation show, which is coming up in just a matter of days, I'm sure that you are getting out there and encouraging everybody to come out in their orange. It's been mandated by the Secretariat that there is no parish project this time around, but you most certainly are still getting out in the communities to try and know people from the various communities that make up the Christchurch Parish. So how have the various activities that you've been doing, how have they been coming along?
Right, so we piggybacked on a number of activities that were going on in Christchurch, such as we went to the sweet lime, the crop over sweet lime in Oystons. The ambassadors, they presented themselves on stage. We also went to Q in the community, which was at Briar Hall at one point. And we've also gone into some communities such as Sergeant's Village, Watton, and through the roast lime, we've been in Oystons, talking with the fishermen, talking with the fisher folk. So a number of things that we've been doing in the community to make sure that our orange is seen, and that we are encouraging you, to wear your orange on the 16th. Yes.
Beautiful stuff, Shaquille. What has intrigued you most about getting out into the communities? What have you learned about your parish?
Actually, I learned a lot this year because, as we had our own heritage tour and stuff, and we went around to different historic sites within our parish, and I get to learn more and the history of these sites within our parish, and then interacting when we go to our events, and we go through the communities, interacting with the citizens. It was amazing. Yeah.
What about you, Denny?
Well, for me, it's kind of the same as him. I'm not a person who travels a lot. So through this program, I've gotten to learn about some of the historical sites within Christchurch. I actually even found a new site that I love. I don't go there, but the first time I went, I was excited to see. And I just learned about the people in Christchurch. They're very friendly, they're very nice. They're willing to help. On our tour, we actually went to Graham Hall Swamp, but we had to ask a lady if we could see it from her backyard, and she was actually very welcoming and very nice to us.
Oh, that was Chancery Lane.
Chancery Lane.
Okay, that's beautiful stuff. For you, I know you're the attendant, but to be able to get out with the ambassadors and the committee and experience the parish, it must, be meaningful to you too.
Of course, I always say that I love Barbados, and to love Christchurch is even better because I'm from that parish, and getting to learn a lot of what is in my own backyard is amazing, that you wouldn't even know it's there. Things like Paragon, the gun at Paragon, the harp gun. Even the swamp at Chancery Lane, not many people know that is there. Even in by St. Lawrence Gap, not many people know that there's a swamp there in St. Lawrence Gap that you can't really see it because of all the grass. But a lot of hidden gems in Christchurch. It's amazing to learn about, even as I'm still in this program.
All right, definitely interesting. I'm going to put it out there. Next time you guys are telling me about Christchurch, we must be experiencing Christchurch, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have to be there. I must say, you know, I have so many favorite spots in Christchurch. I think we forget as we move around the country, but I love the Oistins area.
Yes.
I love Accra. Are you picking up something? Of course, you guys have
beaches.
Yeah, yes, beaches.
Of course, are you guys also, the airport is in Christchurch. I mean, we can't do without the airport.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know, you're very, very important. So thank you for coming through. Wishing you the best for this weekend for the Spirit of the Nation show. So I will see you guys there, and we look forward to seeing lots of you bedecked in your orange and representing for Christchurch. Thanks again for coming through.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go Christchurch. Let's go. Coming up.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oistins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise. When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so welcome back. It's time to meet St. Philip, which is weird for me. Meet St. Philip. I've lived in St. Philip for about the last 20 years, so welcome.
Thank you.
Fellow Philippines.
Yeah, exactly.
To the People's Republic of St. Philip.
Thank you.
Even before Barbados was a republic,
Amen.
St. Philip was a republic. And we wanted to institute a number of ways that people could cross the borders. That didn't quite work out. So welcome Akil McGarry and Davida Pinder, the parish ambassadors for St. Philip. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
And the attendant for this year is Maria Mayers, who's also here with them this morning. Talk to me a little bit, Davida, about how it feels to be able to represent the parish of St. Philip.
It feels really good. When I first started, I did not think that I would get it this far. But it's been a really good opportunity giving back to my country, my parish, and being out there and helping out others.
Well, I started by kind of defining it as a parish, so maybe that was a Freudian slip.
Yes.
Absolutely. For you, Akil, talk to me about some of the initiatives that you guys have been undertaking in the communities to be able to, find out more and to give back.
Well, for us, we started off strong by going to every school in the parish. And there are a lot of schools in St. Philip. So we enjoyed going to the parish schools. We enjoyed talking to the children. When we started, we were encouraging those that were going from class 4 into secondary school, into going into that new environment and making sure they're ready and confident enough to go strong.
All right, that's beautiful stuff. Miss Mayers, what do you think sets St. Philip apart from every other parish?
We're a unique parish. And we are the largest parish, and we're the best.
Amen.
I can agree with you on that largest parish thing. I know that I have a friend in St. Philip, and I can drive for 15 minutes before I get to her house. But it doesn't take me that long to get here, CBC, where there's no traffic. So I really can't figure it out in my head. Yes? Let's talk a little bit more, Akil, about these projects that you've been undertaking in terms of being able to get out into the community. I know there's no structured project, but many of you have been kind of carrying on the things that have worked.
Indeed. So as I said earlier, we were going to the schools, and that was the main thing for us. We wanted to get back into community and bring back the Philippine spirit, the neighborhood, being a friend and family. One family lives in St. Philip. So we were getting into schools. We did some movie nights. We also visited many churches and several flea markets. So we wanted to make sure the community knew we were there, and we wanted to make sure the community could come out and see us as well.
What are people saying when you go out and meet up with them?
They're encouraging us. Make sure you bring home the goal. St. Philip has never won. Make sure you do the best. Encouraging us all the time. And I love it because we want to do the best for them.
All right, that's beautiful stuff. In terms of the committee, how have you been flying the flag, keeping things going kind of behind the scenes as we move from year to year?
Well, we've been working, supporting the beautiful couple, getting them ready for this upcoming show and supporting them in all ways, in all that they were doing throughout the parish, going to the various schools, as they said earlier, going into the district hospital and to the nursing homes. So we've been supporting them all the way.
All right, what's your favorite spot in St. Philip, Davida? You have to tell us where you're from in St. Philip too.
Duncan, St. Philip.
Okay.
But my
I know where Duncan's is.
Yeah. My favorite spot is Bottom Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's the shore, the cliff, and it's very relaxing and nice, very calming.
All right, directions to Bottom Bay from 6 roads.
It's literally a straight road.
They just cannot give directions, no matter which parish you're in.
Yeah, follow the road.
Don't try to fix it, Akil. He's like, follow the road.
It's a straight road. It's the first right. Well, before you get to Bailey School, you have to take a right and then go straight.
We're lost already.
Yeah.
Already lost. What about you, Akil? Where are you from in St. Philip, and what's your favorite spot?
Well, I'm from Foul Bay, and Foul Bay is actually my favorite spot because I am 5-minute walk from the staircase where you can watch the sunset come over and be beautiful in the morning. It has a nice pasture, and I love it there.
Yeah, that's sweet stuff. I absolutely love Foul Bay as well. Yeah, good stuff. It's a beautiful place. What about you, Miss Mayers?
Hi, I'm from Church Village.
Okay, I know Church Village.
Yes, please. And there's no favorite spot. I just love St. Philip.
Yeah, of course, Church Village is a little elevated, so you get a good view of the coast. You can see all the way over to Crane and so on from certain spots in Church Village. I think people don't recognize how elevated certain parts of St. Philip are. I could see all the way over to
The
Coral
airport.
Ridge Cemetery.
Yeah.
I can see over to the airport. I can see over to Crane. I can see all the way over to North St. Lawrence. So it's a really, really, really great view. Boo to everybody else everywhere else.
Amen.
That have that view, right?
Sorry for that. But they're welcome to come to St. Philip. Indeed, they are welcome. They can stamp their passports.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to most this coming weekend? You mentioned that St. Philip hasn't brought home the gold yet, that elusive gold from the Spirit of the Nation show.
I don't want to sound arrogant, but the rest of it, hoping that we bring home the gold.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to having a great time on the show.
For you, Akil?
Same. We hope to bring home the gold. We had a lot of friendships throughout the program, but now it's time to showcase what we did and how we've learned so much from the CACS program.
All right, that's good stuff. I don't want to seem biased, but I created some trivia questions for you guys. I want to make sure that you're on top of things because we have to get you ready, exercising or ready to bring this goal back to St. Philip. The rest can be real vexed with me because I'm bred and born in St. Michael, and I told them I'm going to wear a pretty color shirt and represent everybody. But listen, they're telling me that I'm cheating. I'm getting you guys ready. I'm getting, that mental dexterity in check to make sure that we can take care of it. What's the significance of the name St. Philip in the Barbados context?
That's a great
Who's
question.
St. Philip named after? Think Jesus.
St. Philip. The St. Philip.
One of the disciples.
Yes.
There you go.
You see, so super. Yes, knew that one. Yeah, of course, that was one of the easier questions. So the historical landmark in St. Philip is known for its role as a former plantation, and its current function is as a heritage site. Yes, you guys are fantastic. I could see this coming. What would you say is, which beach located in St. Philip is renowned for its picturesque scenery and is a popular spot for both locals and tourists?
Crane Beach.
There we go.
You're a beach.
Yes.
Oh, Bottom Bay?
Bottom Bay.
I thought it was Crane.
No, you had it.
I thought it was
You
Crane.
absolutely had it, man. And St. Philip is home to several churches. Can you name one prominent church in the parish and its historical significance?
St. Philip Parish Church.
Absolutely. Second part of that question. It dates back to the 17th century and is one of the oldest churches in Barbados, serves as a significant historical architectural site reflecting the island's colonial past and religious heritage. And then there's a cotton tree in the churchyard. Have you ever seen that cotton tree in action?
Yes.
Whenever I see it, I get a little nervous. Yeah?
When you're at the bus stop, you have to go on the other side because all the cotton is coming on you.
Yes. Yeah, very interesting, that tree, if you look at it. But you're from Church Village, so you're right there in the action. So I want to thank you for coming through and sharing with us, sharing a little bit about St. Philip, sharing the sunshine. I know we get the sunshine first and everything else, and then other people get a little bit, about the sun rises in St. Philip.
The beacon of the east.
So congratulations to you guys, and I hope that you get that elusive goal of bringing the gold home to St. Philip.
We are going to be bringing that gold to St. Philip.
I like that.
So we're looking for the whole of St. Philip at the gymnasium.
In purple.
In purple.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, please.
So it will be a purple takeover.
Yes.
Please don't play Purple Rain in the background. All right, again, thanks for sharing with us today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, Philippines, come out, get together and represent for them coming up at the Spirit of the Nation show. I had too much of a good time with you guys. I'm going to get some licks. All right, we'll be right back after this break. Stay.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at...
Welcome back. You know we love reading on Morning Barbados, and we certainly hope you're bringing you along and sharing lots of books and certainly authors who are presenting a little taste of Barbados and the Caribbean. One such author is Shiaka Shallow-Gollop, who is a chef and author. She can add author now to that title. So good morning, Shiaka. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for this opportunity to be here to share, my story and just to let women, know that it's not a race for the swift, but for those who endure.
All right, beautiful stuff. Yeah. So your book is called A Pinch of Shea.
Yes.
Let's hear more about it.
Well, so I started this journey. I was suffering from gastroesophageal reflux disease. I was suffering from terrible monthly cramps. I was also diagnosed with endometriosis, and I just wanted something. I wanted a change. I wanted to feel better. Like at night when I was sleeping, I would regurgitate things that I would eat during the course of the day. And, in the beginning, it was a demotivation, like not being able to enjoy the foods that I would enjoy, like fried chicken and pastas and, the list goes on. And, some days I had to give myself a pep talk to remind myself that this journey, it's not only a lifestyle change, but a new way of thinking. I had to literally program my mind,
So you started out as a pescatarian, and now you've kind of transitioned into a vegan lifestyle.
Yes.
But the book kind of embodies all of that.
Yes, the book mostly embodies a pescatarian and vegetarian diet, because that's where I started when I wrote this book. Yeah. But now I have completely switched into veganism, which I enjoy it. I don't say I miss meat. I don't crave it because it's going into 5 years since I've been a vegan. So,
Wow. So it's one thing to be going through all of the challenges that you described, and another thing to determine, hey, I'm going to write a book. So what was the process that took you from the challenges you were having to the point where you wanted to write this book to share?
I like scrolling through Instagram and, friends, I realized that a lot of women were suffering from some of the same things that I was suffering from. And I just thought that, I went through it, and I would love to share, the foods that helped during this journey, and not only the foods but implementing exercises as well. So I just wanted to let women know that one simple impact can change your body completely.
And as a chef, what is some of the research and development that went into getting this book together?
Wow, I would say the experience that as a chef, the techniques, I have that creative juice per se to help. So yeah, I use my skills to help me throughout this journey. It wasn't an easy journey. There were times that I wanted to give up when writing this book. I would call my husband and I would cry and tell him that, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, and he would just encourage me. He was my biggest supporter throughout this entire course.
That is important. Talk to us about the recipes that made the cut. I am sure that there were quite a few.
Yes. Well, I'm a big sweet tooth, so I started off making desserts. I love me a good oatmeal cookie. So, there's a little bit of oatmeal cookie here. There's some carrot loaf. There's cheesecake. There's sweet bread. Well, sweetbread from my country because, you know, I'm Vincentian. So I wanted to implement a little bit of, you know, my culture inside the book as well. There's like cookies, you know, little stuff like that.
So you started with the sweet stuff, and
then I went into like the appetizers, and then the main course with like and soups and salads. You know, I was trying different things, and those that work best for me, that's what I put inside this book.
Describe a little bit more what these foods did to change your quality of life, because I know when you have these types of esophageal problems, acid reflux and gastrointestinal problems and the like, it can be quite uncomfortable.
Yes, it is. I realized the first few months, maybe the first 3 to 4 months of consuming a cleaner diet, I realized that I would sleep more comfortable at night. I wasn't like, I didn't have to constantly be taking the medications for these things. And in terms of menstrual cycle as well, I realized that the cramps, they were, you know, lessening month after month. And I said to myself that, hey, this diet really is helping my body from within. So, you know, I just said to myself that, you know, this is something that I want to be a lifestyle. This is not something I want to do for today and, you know, stop doing when I feel better or I look better. You know, I appreciate myself more, you know, stuff like that.
As a creative, as a chef, I'm sure that you come up with new dishes all the time.
I do.
But what are some of the dishes that you've presented in this book that you were thinking, wow, this is definitely an amazing one?
The soups, I love a good soup. Even the appetizers, like I think I have a sweet potato stir fry. So I was like, yo, this thing tastes so good.
I can't believe I did it myself. Yeah. So where can we get the book?
It's currently located on Amazon. That's the only place I have it at the moment. I'm trying to get other publishing companies to help me push the book. So right now it's only available on Amazon. And you can get both soft copy and hard copy.
All right, that's some interesting stuff, because you're not only offering people some great alternatives to maybe what they consume at this time, but some healthy choices that have made a difference in your life. So what would your advice be for people who are looking on and thinking, who knows, I might want to try this, but I don't know if I can make it through?
I would say ease into it. If you feel like you can't do it on your own, include a family, a friend, somebody you know who is very disciplined with certain things, you know, and I did it, so I know you can do it too. So just take the journey and go with the flow.
Just have some appetizers, main courses, desserts,
soups, salads, everything.
Everything is including within these pages.
Yes.
How many recipes would you say you have available in this book?
I think it's about 70. Yeah, I think it's about 70.
All right, so next time you come back, Shiaka, you have to come back and present a few of these recipes to our viewers, because they really want to see your skill as well.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right, so make sure you pick it up. It's beautiful to see the book itself, and the dishes certainly look appetizing as we look at them on the cover of the book. Shiaka Shallow Gollop is a chef and author presenting today to our Morning Barbados family a pinch of shea. Yes, of course, she's now vegan, but this is based on a pescatarian and vegetarian lifestyle.
Yes.
So I might try a few of the dishes and I'll review and let you know how they work out.
Okay.
All right. Okay, time for another break. When we come back, we started talking sleep hygiene. And of course, throughout the weeks that we've been talking about it, we also moved into sleep hygiene and nocturia. And we're going to wrap up that conversation today with Dr. Dale Brathwaite. That's coming up next on Morning Barbados.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it. Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, welcome back as we get into the last few minutes of Morning Barbados. Help me welcome Dr. Dale Brathwaite, who's a naturopath, and I mean, just, you know, friend to the show. So we're accustomed to seeing Dr. Dale. Welcome, good morning.
Good morning to you.
How did your weekend go? Because we're talking about sleep hygiene, I think it's important for us to maybe lay out how things went so we can be a little more relatable to everybody about how you can pony time up.
Well, if you want good sleep hygiene, just encourage the West Indies cricket team to win and keep winning.
And you get to sleep?
And you will
I would think you'd be up celebrating.
But they lost.
Well, they won initially.
Yeah, but we need to keep winning.
Yeah?
Of course.
So that Bajans can sleep?
You got that. And the rest of the Caribbean? 5-point-something million people. We have to sleep.
We have to sleep. No, we started last week talking about nocturia, which is a condition that causes you to wake up during the night to urinate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if we're looking at nocturia, we have to look at sleep hygiene. And sleep hygiene has to be considered from when you wake till you go back to sleep. That is, if an individual, for example, is introducing lots of refined foods into their diet, there will be challenges because you have, in 1 year, research has shown that some Americans, they utilize 350 pounds of sugar per year, and then just about 500 pounds of refined foods per year. That is going to be a load on the pancreas and by extension, insulin. Now, once that insulin count goes up and stuff, and you will have challenges because there's an inhibitor factor going on. When insulin is correct, it stops the kidney from producing urine at night, because as we eat, our electrolytes, what happens is that when our body gathers the food, our kidneys go into operation and it would let off junk, the toxins and so forth in the form of maybe perspiration, urination, defecation. However, when we overload with chemistry products, refined foods and so forth, we're going to have difficulties because the first, I think, 8 to 12 hours of your day, you're trying to get your energies correct. After that first 8 to 12 hours, your body no longer needs all the energy that you're putting in the first, basically first half. So the second half, you need to start doing the cutback, because from an athletic standpoint, you now have reserve energy, glycogen, and so forth. When we have these things in place, what happens is that if we keep loading during the evening half as though there was the morning half a need or call for energy, you're going to have a problem. So you're going to be letting off lots of urine during your sleep.
All right, that's some pretty interesting stuff. Let's talk timelines now. Let's talk a little bit about where you start and kind of break down the day for everybody. So, you talked about kind of tapering off as you go later into the day.
Yes, please.
So let's give people some times in terms of what they should do in terms of activity. Some people prefer to work out at night, and then you'd hear, not a good idea because of the chemicals that are stirring in your body. It might take away from you being able to sleep and so on. Is there any truth to that, first of all? And what's the latest time you should eat? Is it across the board, or is it something that is an individual thing based on your own preferences?
All right, there's a little mix-up thing that has its pluses and minuses. I train athletes at evening, but then we eat in a particular way, and we prepare for bed differently. When an individual is practicing good food hygiene habits and sleep habits, sleep deprivation will not be an issue. However, within your first 45 minutes to an hour, you don't necessarily need food in the morning. So your body is almost like catching itself. After that, then you need to look at things that are easily digestible. So you want to go for steak. Steak would be more midday-ish, but when you're eating animal protein, you need to put in what is called cruciferous vegetables. So you don't eat meat by itself. You have to get your fiber content, which we call cruciferous vegetables. Let's call it coleslaw. What happens then, you get the benefit of the protein, and the cruciferous vegetables causes it to break down and get back out. If you put it in by itself, it could be as many as weeks to months not being broken down properly. And most of us may have a little guilt of cut and swallow, go. That can't work. By extension, we then have a situation where we are not chewing our foods properly. So, in some instances, we have people utilizing kale and spinach that is unheated. When we use kale and spinach that is unheated, the cellulose in both of these products, our bodies don't break it down properly. So if you're doing your smoothies, and we like to mix up everything, I'm suggesting heat it first. Let it turn, and then our bodies can break it down.
Yeah, because we hear so much now about kale salads, and we're thinking that this is a healthy alternative.
It is good, but heat it first.
Okay.
Heat the spinach and the kale first. In addition, some of us, we are into a sense of herbology, into a sense of naturopathy, and so forth. So we're drinking our teas. Some of the teas that we drink have caffeine, even the decaf products. So what you need to do is to look at drinking those beverages earlier in the day, midday-ish and so on. So you have a cutoff line of about 6 to 8 hours before bedtime. Otherwise, you will have a problem with nocturia. You will urinate.
Yeah, I saw that recently on a video that I was watching where the doctor was talking about green teas and black teas as opposed to herbal teas. He said herbal teas, you definitely can move away from the caffeine and so on that are in a lot of them. But for the other teas, even though they're good in different respects, if you want to move away from caffeine and caffeinated beverages, it might not be a good idea to use those as well. But there's so much information out there. Sometimes it's difficult to decipher where to go with it.
No. Look, we're in information age, and even in the Bible it says that in the last days people shall travel to and fro and knowledge shall increase. You can click something and get anything you want. However, this is where your certified primary care physician has to come in. Even if you are looking at naturopathic care, you're looking at the MD, you're looking at the chiropractor, you're looking at the physiotherapist, call them, get some help. So do not allow them to get their certificates and die with them. Call. You're about to make certain changes. Don't make it on your own. Ask a question. In my work, when people come to me, I want to know if you have any debilitating challenges, medical conditions and so forth, normal run-of-the-mill things. But are you on medications? If this is the case, I need to contact your other primary care physician so that when you're having certain medications and naturopathic blends don't always agree, so that you have the chemical product via the pharmaceutical realm, and then you have the naturopathic blend. And sometimes when like a father meets a son, a mother meets a daughter, it produces toxicity. So I have to be careful when you will see, even in naturopathic blends, read the labels. Are you taking such and such? Are all of these things we need to follow? So it's not just you see something, take it up and gulp and swallow. No. It's a very careful planning approach that has to be looked at.
All right, if there's somebody who's experiencing nocturia right now, where they're getting up all through the night, going to the bathroom, let's create a pathway for them to be able to reverse it if they can.
Well, one of the things, if that is happening, there's a precursor before that, which is polyuria, which is excessive urination even during the course of the day. Sometimes the person has to look at the sugars and the salts they're putting in, both the refined sugars and refined salts. You need to find your sugars in food more than anything else. No, let's understand that there's value in sugar, there's value in salt. If you're looking at the naturopathic approach or even the MD approach, almost every food has a sugar element, if it is chemically designed or coming from the earth. One of the challenges is that our palate has grown accustomed to excess. We need to cut back. In addition, like the left side of our body is salt driven. The right side is potassium. But for the heart to help us, it is governed by calcium, a 4-strain calcium. And do you know that THYME is actually a strong calcium drink, a strong calcium product? Guessed. In addition, gastrointestinal challenges can be looked at by using thyme. I hope I pronounce it correct, THYME. So you English grammarians can help me with that. So you find then that unless we are relatively cognizant of what we're putting in, and for God's sake, I hope that people will not be hooked on a little of this, a little of that. Try and eat some food. If you're hungry, eat. You know, that's my philosophy with it. So hypochondriasis can come in where individuals, everything that going wrong I got, and I can't eat this, then bulimia and all kind of stuff can start to come in. We get up in mornings, we look at food hygiene. By midday, we put in our biggest bulk. And then as evening goes on, things that every day is hot and stuff, evening salads and so forth. Try not to eat too late at night. If you're drinking teas that's liquid, you're drinking water that's liquid, reduce it, sip rather than gulp. The cells in the human body does not fully appreciate the gulp. because water and fluids have to get in. If it's sugar driven, water follows sugar, and then with the salt factor, we know that we're looking at the whole issue of electrolytes and the sugar and salt components. If you are exercising a lot, you need to look at within your first 15 minutes water, within your first 45 minutes, you're looking at electrolytes. After that, you're looking at amino acids. So if you have a balanced diet, it helps. Rest, exercise, and diet.
All right, rest, exercise, and diet. That's where we leave it for today. Thank you so much, Dr. Dale Brathwaite, for sharing with us. Of course, we would advise you that if you're experiencing medical challenges, you definitely should check with your medical doctor to figure out what's going on, and to also work on how you can work through whatever challenges there are. Always good to have you in with us, particularly on a Monday morning.
Oh yes, to you and our 50,000 viewers, it is a joy to serve you at this time.
Can you see me rolling my eyes? Yeah. All right, that's it for today's show. I want to thank you for spending the time with us. Remember, you can check us out online as well. Coming up tomorrow on Morning Barbados Conversations on CARICOM, we're going to discuss the implications of the Trump presidency from a CARICOM perspective. We're going to get to meet with the winners of the recently staged Pontifications and Poetry competition, plus the Parish Independence Committees of St. George and St. Thomas are going to be here with us. And the Rise of Machines, A Window to the Future, the first International Health Failure Congress. You'll hear more about that. And the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, which was known as the 5 C's rather, they're rebranding, and they're going to tell us all about what they're doing as we look toward COP29, the climate change conference that's happening right now in Azerbaijan. So that's all coming up tomorrow on Morning Barbados. Have a great day today, and see you, God willing, tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.